in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items, is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Look who just walked in the room, Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Not having friends or family is twice as harmful as obesity and has the same negative impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or not getting any exercise. Because we're all squinting to see our tiny screens, we're creating wrinkles. So increase your font size to grandma size like I do. Men who aren't chivalrous send the message that they're not thoughtful and have no interest in showing compassion for other people.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, back at Voice of Ocala. Maris here in the studio. We've got a caller calling in, an old friend of the show. Tito Comas joins the program. I think he wanted to make a statement or ask a question. Tito, how you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
Well, I'm a little stirred up today because I'm a little concerned about what's going to happen here in the future without a county administrator and a city manager. But I hope things will be normal.
That's why I'm calling.
Okay.
I wanted to make a comment on the city manager's outcome and the history of Matt Brower. Since I've been here 37 years as a resident of Ocala, Marion County, and I wanted to make sure that my voice was heard in your program. In the last, I'd never seen as much progress and results in downtown Ocala as in the last 3 years, and I think Matt was, had a very big. He was part of that, and his team also. I mean, there's a lot of people that were under him that did a lot of the work too. But he was really shocking to see what happened last night with the city council. But anyway, I just wanted to make that clear because he made a lot of progress that I've seen personally in 3 years in our worst economic times in the last 50 years or so. So I also wanted to say that, if you look around downtown, Ocala became pretty much a destination under his guard. You can look around, see Citizen Circle, Tuscaloosa Park, Square, wayfinding program that he created for parking and directions all over our city. You walk the downtown area, the planters, the light poles, the banners, the Marion Theater, and I can go on.
I think we lost. Did we lose Cheeto? Okay.
See a lot of results that I saw personally, and we're living through it.
All right.
So that's my point, buddy.
Okay, so you're talking about do you feel like the downtown has made a lot of progress in the last 3 years, and are you concerned that that's not gonna continue? Is that what you're concerned about? The field downtown, which you're a big part of, by the way, are you worried about that continuing, or what's the deal?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm very, very worried about that because one of our city council persons, which I read in the newspaper, said that there's a lot of projects that have been started and never finished. And that was one of his concerns. Well, I see a lot of them that had been finished, and I was part of them as far as helping,
All right. Well, I appreciate your comments and taking the time to call in, and we'll address that with the mayor. And then we've got Councilman McLeod on at 4 o'clock. We'll see if we can get some more conversation rolling about that. Thank you for caring enough to call in and making a statement. Appreciate it, Tito.
Thank you for your time, buddy.
All right. Tito Comas. Well, all right. He walked in the house with coffee. He walked right into a buzzsaw over there. He is. Mayor Gwen joins us. Before we get into Mayor Gwen, let's have your coffee and relax for a second. We'll tackle that subject in a second because I know we're going to have a good half hour of that. I want to say a couple things about some news developments today. About you heard about the Canadian soldier who was killed today, and they think the last time I heard, they think thought it was a lone wolf act, and I haven't heard any more because the internet's been down. But that's
I got the latest from CNN here, buddy.
All right, go ahead and read it to us.
Here's what they know. They say they know the soldier who died was a reservist for the Hamilton, Ontario Canadian Broadcasting from Hamilton County. CBC is reporting dozens of shots were fired inside of Parliament, many by security officers chasing a gunman, ending with a motionless body near Parliament's library. Early reports of shot fired near the Rideau Center Mall were not correct, police now say. At least one suspect is dead. No one else is in custody. And they say there are various reports of that there were 2 gunmen, 3 gunmen, or maybe only 1 gunman. None of those have been substantiated. They're operating only on the aspect that the shooting stopped after the one suspect is dead. So they think there's only one involved as of now, but they're still investigating.
All right, thank you. I want to mention this because in my old profession, this is a name that's up there with the Giants. Ben Bradley died. He's the former editor of the Washington Post, and he was he's the guy who brought Watergate with his 2 reporters, Woodward and Bernstein, that revived the business that I was in at that time and supercharged it. And a lot of people went into journalism because of Watergate, and he helped I don't say redesign, but at least he helped revive journalism at a time when we needed it in this country. And many fine years, the next 25, 30 years, the Washington Post, of course, is a well-known newspaper that it's been a watchdog up in Washington, and you know all about Woodward and Bernstein, whatever. Anyway, Ben Bradley, in my book, would be on the Mount Rushmore of newspaper editors. Sadly, as I posted today on Facebook, that the journalism he helped revive is on life support now these days, unfortunately. Also, this, and just a little note on Halloween. This is the kind of thing I always worry about. In Ohio, they had a haunted house, and a young girl with a pre-existing medical condition had a heart attack and died. And when she went into a house of horrors or one of those places like that, so it's called the Land of Illusion Screen Park. Is what it was. And she collapsed in that. She's 16 years old. She had 1 lung and a regular heartbeat. So those things, should be mindful of that people with conditions like that during Halloween, whatever, should be careful about it. And that's a sad story there. All right. Having said that, let me just switch. We got about 2 minutes. Let's bring in the mayor real early before we get into the subject of Matt Brower. Did you watch the debates last night between the 2 gubernatorial candidates? I know you're a Scott man, but I want to get your take on this. Did you watch? You weren't. You were in city council.
City council meeting.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first. I watched like 2 minutes of the first one. Last night I watched maybe half just to get a flavor of it. And most people are saying who they're not really sure who to vote for. The lesser of 2 evils in some regard. But one subject came up at one point where Chris brought up the accusation that the governor had postponed. Let me get it right here. An execution. They signed off on, postponed it so Pam Bondi could go to a political fundraiser. That was the charge. And the trouble with it, and I don't know how true it was, Scott never did address it. He talked around it, which is one of the problems I have with those debates. People just don't respond to the questions. And he talked around it, for which he got criticized a great deal last night. So I don't think it was a good night for Scott. He probably won the first debate. This one here, I don't know. Chris took him to the woodshed there. I have no political preference on who wins that race or whatever. It's just a statement that last night apparently that was a question that he could never answer. All right, we got lots to talk about, Mergwin, and you can give us your take on things that happened at City Hall last night, and we'll talk with the mayor. Is that the music I heard there?
No.
What was that I heard?
My phone.
Oh, it's Tom. Okay, I'm hearing things, and okay, well, I never know. Is it Halloween? I mean, because the gremlins are already out.
It may be.
They're running around. Okay, we'll find out what Ken Gwynn thinks. I understand there was quite a spirited discussion last night. The mayor, I'm told, had lots to say last night. He says no. And we'll find out. I talked to a couple of councilmen. We'll see what that's about. And then 4 o'clock, John McLeod joins us.
4:15.
Yeah, in the 4 o'clock hour.
Right.
Coming up next, right here on the Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Being the Culligan Man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan Man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Most of downtown Ottawa, Canada is in lockdown after shots fired at 3 sites, including the National War Memorial.
The victim of the shooting is a member of the Canadian Armed Forces. His injuries were fatal.
Ottawa Police Chief Charles Bordelot just a short while ago.
What followed was another incident on Parliament Hill. What I can tell you is that a male suspect is now deceased. Together with the RCMP, all available resources have been deployed to this ongoing police operation.
There's a search happening right now for other suspects. The CDC expanding its monitoring of people arriving from West African countries hit by Ebola. Meanwhile, the first Ebola test for the quarantined dog belonging to Nurse Nina Pham has come back negative. City of Dallas says the 1-year-old King Charles Spaniel will have to be tested again before his quarantine period ends. Pham's condition upgraded to good. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ziprecruiter.com/info. That's ziprecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ziprecruiter.com/info.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dr. Todd Marr. He's a specialist in the field of allergy and immunology. He's coming on to speak to us about ways to manage nasal, outdoor, and indoor allergies.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Hank Whittier will be here bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Ned Bowman is with the Florida Petroleum Marketers and Convenience Store Association in Tallahassee. He'll be speaking about the partnership for a better energy future.
And then Christopher Kelly will be on. He's written a book called America Invades, How We've Invaded or Been Militarily Involved with Almost Every Country on Earth.
Senior Chaplain Mike Neal is the Senior Chaplain for the Washington State Patrol and the Department of Fish and Wildlife Police. He'll be speaking about his new book, The Miracle of Africa.
And then Dr. Robert Thompson is coming on, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist. He's written a book called The Calcium Lie 2, What Your Doctor Still Doesn't Know. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Time now for Coffee with the Mayor. After kind of a tough night last night, he's back. He shows up like he always does. You know, one thing about our mayor, aside from the fact he dresses like he's in GQ, is he's resilient. I don't know how do you last that many years? How many years is it in public service? 15?
15.
How do you last that long if you're not resilient? You got to be resilient, right?
Yeah, with everything that's been going on, lately with this double homicide and us, shooting the suspect. And again, today we had it was a suicide today. It's just
depressing.
It's depressing.
And I understand the shooter died, is what I'm told.
Shooter died last night at 8:05 p.m. And I was talking to some officers today. The only good thing that came out of that is they were harvesting his organs, and so hopefully somebody got a heart, somebody got kidney or whatever it may be, and somebody's alive because this guy died. And
hope nobody got his conscience. That's all I got to say.
Pardon me?
Hope nobody got his conscience.
No, I hope they didn't transplant that.
Yeah.
So it's a sad situation. But I don't know. God works. I was telling officers that day, God works in mysterious ways, and we don't know, why all that happened. But for some reason, it happened.
No. All right, let's get down to you can fill me in. On this program, we've had this discussion. We deal in perception.
Right.
Because we're not there in the pits. We don't know what it's like to block a 300-pound man. We don't know what it's like to lead a police force. We don't know what it's like to be mayor or city councilman. But we can look at the actions and make a judgment, if you will, about what it looks like to us. And what I'm hearing from people today is that, okay, we made a decision on Matt Brower. And by the way, he had his detractors. And there's no question about that. I'm giving credit where credit's due. He was on track with the downtown operation, which which you have championed ever since, I believe that was a Ricky Horse deal that he put together. And
Susan Miller.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2003.
And you've been on that for a long time. You championed it. And Matt had enough sense to pick up the ball and run with it, and I thought did a really good job in the beginning, okay? I don't know if it's stalled or what, but I think, like Tito said earlier, there's some things that have happened that are really good downtown, which I think are excellent. Now, the rest of it I don't know. And I don't know, I mean, negotiations with the union, as I posted on the Facebook today, since when is it a bad thing to be tough negotiated with unions? Now, I know that's oversimplifying. There are other issues. I know one of them is they had 2 unions, and since he's been there's been a third added. And some people are very unhappy about that. So maybe I'm oversimplifying, but let me ask the question, let you address it, and you have the floor for as long as you want. Number one, what was the downfall of Matt Brower? And number 2, where do we go from here? And I know we have other people who can step into the breach and be interim, but I'm talking about leaders now, stepping up, people who can lead us, not just a week or 2 or a month, but lead us to the future. What do we do since we don't have a city manager? How long will it be before we can find that right person? Can we find, and on top of that, the timing, well, we also have lost our county administrator. So when people say, look like a chicken with his head cut off, that's what they're talking about. You respond to that.
Well, I mean,
it's a lot I know.
Okay. Talking about the union, you first mentioned, he didn't get in trouble for not being a tough negotiator with the union. His problem was that actually he didn't negotiate with the union. Time and time again, council told him, Matt, we want you to be at the table with the union and negotiate with the union. And he just refused to do it. And he said, now I'm going to have my staff do it. And I just think that's a better way to do it. And finally one night, Councilman Musley said, okay, well, that's fine. So we'll just deal with that when we renew your contract. But he'd been asked that time and time and time again. He would say, there's no precedence in doing that. Well, there is. When Rick Horst was here, Rick negotiated with the fire union and the police union and got a 2 or 3 year contract done in about 3 or 4 hours. Every time our attorney, comes, our labor attorney, Wayne Halesby, maybe, every 2 months, 3 months, it might be $5,000. So you just continue to do that and do that over a year or so. Well, that starts adding up, as far as cost. So that was one of the problems. I mentioned last night Bass Pro Shop. We told Matt have Mark Mondell turn over. He was negotiating with him. Bass Pro Shop to the CEP and let them negotiate with them. That never happened and wouldn't do it.
That's in Silver Springs or in Ocala?
Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah.
It was going to be out where the Yankees were going to be.
Okay, I see it. Okay.
And they were talking to us before even the Yankees came on board.
Right.
Around electric. John McLeod told Matt at one time, and I asked John last night, correct me if I'm wrong, and he didn't correct me, so I guess I'm right. Council told him to set aside money to give them raises. And then a year later, SECO comes and starts taking our best linemen and recruits them, and they leave. One person got a $20,000 increase in his pay going to SECO. They were some of them were that underpaid, and when that started happening, gentleman in SECO goes to my church, and he was telling me about it. I told Matt, I said, look, Matt, here we are. We told you this was going to happen. Now it's reality. So just things like that, just disrespecting council's wishes. And I'm not a councilman. I was a councilman for 12 years, and I said last night, it's difficult to take that councilman hat off. But when you have a city manager, that just won't do what council asks, at some point in time, you have to do something about it. Tito said the
field downtown.
Yeah, he was afraid that we were going to not get a lot of the stuff done that had been being done. we won't miss a beat. Staff is awesome staff, and they'll, Janie Pope, all those folks, they'll continue to get that done. We'll have a meeting on November 4th. We'll decide what we're going to do as far as the future. We'll hire an interim city manager. Sandra Wilson's the city manager until, Matt leaves.
Interim.
Yeah, interim. And I would suggest that they do a national search and find the best person out there with exactly the skill set that we need to do the things that need to get done. Some of these projects, construction projects like Ocala Development with a hotel, and finally we got McBride's project going. Those are things that should have taken such a short, not 2 years or not a year. They should have been done, and it just didn't happen. I'm not going to say who's responsible, but they just didn't happen, and maybe that's what that council member was talking about. What was the other thing I was going to say?
Well, while you're thinking about that, Mary Sue Rich had a different opinion.
Mary Sue did.
Yeah, she gave high marks. She saw it from a different perspective, and it's a 3-2 vote. And you didn't vote. You don't have a vote on it. But could you have vetoed it, by the way?
No, it's not an ordinance.
Okay. So we have 3, Councilman Molliver and Councilman Mustley and Councilman McLeod, who will be here at 4:15, voted not to retain him in his contract. I believe Councilman Mustley offered him an opportunity to stay throughout the year, as I recall.
Correct.
And he declined that for whatever reason. And maybe he's got other plans, other jobs, whatever the case may be. But one person told me, one person told me, she's going to name us, the reason they felt the way they did was they just didn't think he could get the job done. He didn't dislike him. He wasn't siding with any particular side. He didn't necessarily agree with other people, but he felt like he just couldn't get the job done for whatever reason. Now, when did this all start going? Because I thought in the first 6 months to a year that Matt Brower was kind of looked like a golden boy for a few months there about taking care of things, downtown. There are other projects, and you mentioned them, I understand. But did it just sort of, what happened exactly? What was it what was the straw, to use a cliche, that broke the camel's back, in your opinion? You did not vote, but you still voiced your opinion.
Well, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was, what happened, with the unions and some of these other things that council asked him to do. But, Matt did a lot of good things. There's no question. I think he's a good man, and, he has a lot of good attributes. And I told him that last night, and I told him, I said, I think that God has a different plan for your life, and probably much bigger and better than here. And I think he will go into bigger and better things. It was just, this isn't it. We talk about vision. This isn't Matt's vision, okay? It's the people's vision. They elected us to implement it, council to implement it. Matt is how it gets implemented. Staff is how it gets implemented. When you get to a point, and I'll give you an example. We had a gentleman that I was called by his business partner up in Alabama. Hey, ladies.
That's the Myers, Mayor.
I was called by his business partner up in Alabama, and he asked me to help out here and see what I could do in getting them open. This gentleman built a petition wall in his building. Didn't have any electric in it or anything. Didn't even reach the ceiling. Just 2x4s and some drywall. We came over there in the building permitting our building department and saw where he'd done that, and told him to stop. And he said, "I'm sorry." He said, "I didn't know." And they said, "That's okay. Just you got to stop. Come in and get a building permit." Well, this gentleman's case gets put at the bottom of the stack, so to speak. And after about 5 weeks of phone calls by folks in different agencies around town, trying to get some movement on this, with this gentleman having a deadline of getting this stuff done, who was doing a multi-million dollar contract for the federal government, for the Department of Defense, on some very, very important things, couldn't get any traction, couldn't get anything done. I met with Mr. Brower, met with the head of the building department. The first words out of the gentleman at the building department was, well, this guy, built something without our permission. So that's 2 months ago. Now what? We need to get this guy open. This just went on and on and on.
Their perception of lack of cooperation.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that Matt and staff don't understand that that's a problem is a problem. I mean, Matt would talk about, we get building permits issued in a day. Well, that's great. You should. But the question is, from the time the building permit is issued till the time of the certificate of occupancy, is issued, what goes on during that time, and the headaches and the trials and tribulation of a business owner trying to get a business open. That's what the problem was, and we didn't see that as a problem, and that's the problem.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about the business side of this, whether or not there was a disconnect with some of the business community, too. Some people have some issues with that. And we'll see what else the mayor wants to finish off with. The mayor's not in a good mood today. I can tell that. He had a tough night last night. But you know what? He's got coffee. He's going to make a comeback in the next segment. So stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey.
In here.
Are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike Scott Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike Scott Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand me that.
The only thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department.
Hey,
it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
All right, back to the final couple of minutes of the show. Mary Gwen, we got about a minute and a half here. I want to make sure you get in whatever you want to say. Your final thoughts about I'm speaking of today right now as of, 3:52. I don't know about tomorrow, next week. As of today, we basically have a lame duck, if he's even there, city manager, and we have to, what will be transpire will decide whether that was a good or a bad decision. So tell me as mayor what you see down the road.
Well, I mean, I think it was a good decision, and we're going to be fine. We've gone through this before. My personal opinion, there needs to be a national search done. But, right now, today, we had named, or council had named, Sandra Wilson to be the interim chief until Matt's gone. And then we're going to have a meeting on November 4th, and council will decide what they want to do from there. The city's going to be fine. The people that work there every day are still there. The lights are going to come on. The water's going to come out of your faucet. The roads will be fixed. When you flush your toilet, it's going to work. Nothing's going to change in that regard.
And the projects for downtown will continue?
We won't miss a beat.
All right. Well, we're going to put that same question to the president of City Council, John McLeod, coming up next hour and see what he says.
Well, let me just say one more thing. And I told Lori Boley this today, and I'll share it on the radio. There was some discussion about an email that regarding Councilman Hilty's mother's funeral that I didn't get, and that was an innocent mistake. It wasn't Lori's fault, and it wasn't Matt's fault. It just happened. So publicly, I want to apologize to Lori and to Matt for assuming that it was something other than what it was.
And you read the email last night. You said you regretted it, haven't read it. Okay, well, thank you for that. Appreciate you coming on the program and illuminating things a little bit for us, sir, Mayor. Appreciate it. All right, out of time. Coming up next, John McLeod's in the house. We'll steer him away from Gator football and towards the city manager. Coming up next right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available.
Bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate alone.
Fumble!
I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Not having friends or family is twice as harmful as obesity and has the same negative impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or not getting any exercise. Because we're all squinting to see our tiny screens, we're creating wrinkles. So increase your font size to grandma size like I do. Men who aren't chivalrous send the message that they're not thoughtful and have no interest in showing compassion for other people.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A Canadian soldier fatally shot standing guard at his country's war memorial in downtown Ottawa, the country's capital. A suspected gunman also dead. Other shots fired inside the Parliament building.
I was going into my caucus room when I heard these pop, pop, pop. We have a lot of construction going on Parliament Hill. I actually paid no attention to it. I thought it was construction. But I was quickly disabused of that when the security people came running down the hall and ushered us out the back door quite quickly.
The Honorable John McKay, no claim of responsibility. ISIS threats reported after Canada joined the U.S.-led coalition. Sax player Raphael Ravenscroft, best known for that solo on the 70s hit Baker Street, dead at 60, said he hated hearing the song because his solo was flat. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking, but be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of the Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Like the man said, hour two of the program, kind of an interesting day today. I started off by saying I was in a great mood this morning. Sunshine on my shoulder, feeling good about life. Have my own radio program where I can control people, keep people from singing, turn his mic down. Be able to work for yourself and in a place you love, for the people you love, the community you love. And then, you know, things started kind of deteriorating for one reason or the other, like the pebble coming down the mountainside. Some bad news out of Canada about one of the Canadian soldiers being shot, killed. They think it might be an act of terrorism. Unfortunate news today about a suicide that took place. We'll know more about those details when they're released. We did get the news that the shooter in the double homicide now has died last night, 8 o'clock. Those kinds of stories. And then the one that's a little disconcerting. It could be bad. It could be good. It's yet to be determined what will happen to our city with the expiration, shall we say, of the contract of city manager last night, Matt Brower. Council voted 3-2 not to retain him. You can call it what you want to. You can say, well, he wasn't fired. Well, here's the deal. Like I said, Ron Zook didn't get his contract renewed. He was fired. So, and you know, was that the right move? I don't know. We'll see. And I guess history will tell us one way or the other. But the bottom line is that now what we're looking at, this is the perception, right or wrong, it's just mine today as of right now at 4:03 or 4 this afternoon. We don't have a city manager except on someone who's an interim. We understand that. We don't have a county administrator full-time. And now we're going to go forth, and who is going to lead us? And maybe somebody great. But right now, today, we don't know who that is. So we're kind of on a tightrope just a little bit here. And I use this football analogy because it's similar. Gator Nation knows what it feels like because Will Muschamp clearly is not the man to lead them and will be fired before long. So here we are. And we talk a lot about on this show about leadership constantly. What is leadership? Maybe leadership is making a tough decision and finding the right person for the job. You know, where are the leaders? That's the biggest concern. Where are the leaders? And can leadership come from the bottom up instead of the top down? All questions that we'll put to our next guest, who's kind enough to join us on a semi-regular basis, the president of the city council, John McLeod. Hi, John.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
You're very unhappy about the Gators. I know that.
Yeah, just
devoid of leadership probably at the football level, but not at the president level or the athletic director level.
Okay.
So to kind of segue into what you just said.
There you go. Head coach.
Yeah, the head coach only. And, the city manager is one part of the city of Ocala.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the council, you've got staff, you've got the citizens. The city will not fall apart by us making a change. It was a very difficult situation for me. I've been honest and upfront with Tom on the show and yourself that, my evaluation was right in the middle. There was a lot of very positive things that Matt Brower did for our city. At the end of the day, there were some things that I wasn't really happy with, and I thought that at this point a change was necessary, and I didn't make that decision actually until it actually came down to the wire. It was a close call for me, but at the end of the day, I asked myself, what do I feel is better for the city of Ocala? That's my job, and at the end of the day, I thought that was the best way to go. Is let's go in a little bit different direction, get some of these things under control, and go forward. I don't think. And I'm answering all your questions ahead of time.
It's all right.
Because
My wife told me I was very hard on you last time we were on the show, and I was giving you hypotheticals, and you were answering them, and she said, you were really hard on John.
Well, I also didn't answer one of your hypotheticals. So to be fair to you, I did not answer them with a clear stated answer. Yeah. But, our projects will not stop. We will go forward. As a matter of fact, they will go along just as quickly or quicker. And so I think that the perception that we're a ship without a captain, not necessarily true. We do have this little bit of time period here. We have to name an interim, and after we name an interim, we have to set up a process of how to get a permanent city manager. And the interim could end up being the city manager. I don't know that. I don't know who we're going to name as the interim just yet. Mr. Musley bantered around a name last night. I wasn't expecting a name to come out last night, but it did. And that's surely a more than qualified interim that would make sure that we wouldn't miss a beat with that interim, not a beat. So, a lot of positive things going on. And it's unfortunate this happened, and I was uncomfortable with it last night. And, when you get home and you make a decision like that, you have to sit there and look at yourself and go, was that the right thing? And, I believe it was for the city of Ocala. Mm-hmm. But I like Matt Brower, and that's what made it very difficult for me.
We talked last time you were on the fence about this. Mm-hmm. It's been maybe a couple months ago. But we also know that 3 months ago, there was some buzz about it, obviously, some consternation, and several council people were expressing concern. And Councilman Musley said that when the process came up about evaluation, he was a little taken back by it. He didn't quite understand. And then when he got their evaluation, he got into it, and the process began. And then it was like it was going to happen, period. Mm-hmm. You're going to evaluate. And I think what it surprised everybody, the public, was that suddenly you have the city manager that most of us thought was doing okay, and in some places really doing pretty well. And that would be the part about carrying out the downtown campaign, mm-hmm. part of that, which I think he did a good job on, and being a person on a committee to serve with him, I can speak to that because I was involved in that and helping save the Marion Theater and starting the concerts. But that's just part of the job. Mm-hmm. There are other things. Now, I've heard the mayor talk about it. Their perception is that he failed as a negotiator with the unions. One person told me that it wasn't just the fact he wasn't a good negotiator, he didn't negotiate. And the second part was that when we started out, we had 2 unions, now we got 3. As opposed to 2, and they blamed the fact that he was responsible for having the 30. Anyway, a lot of scenarios here. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you had to narrow it down on your choice last night about why you voted not to retain Matt Brower, what would that be if there was one reason?
Oh, wow. I don't know that I could narrow it down to one reason. I'll give you a few reasons, but all
right.
And again, I'm uncomfortable saying anything negative, so I'm just going to try to stick with some, basic facts and stuff. I'm not going to have personal situations or anything like that. But, employee relations, not necessarily the fact that we have a third union, but employee relations seem to me to be somewhat challenged on the city side of things. When I say the city side, of the general employee side of things. But then again, I look at the police department, and the morale has come around 100% over there, and those employees seem quite happy. It's just the perception that I see. I see a lot of employee issues. I see a union. Anytime you have a union that votes to unionize when they never have before, it's an indictment on management. But let's be fair, that's also an indictment on me. So, I'm partially to blame with this, and so are all 5 council members. So it's not just a Matt Brower thing. There was issues before last January when we had our little retreat and everything, that I brought up the fact that, okay, we're not supposed to be giving raises, but yet we're giving more titles to executive type people, and along with those titles, we're giving them money. Well, if you think you're going to have an employee problem when you do that, of course you are. You're telling the guys below that we're not giving raises, but we're giving more titles to the people above them, and that's going to cause an employee problem every single time. Those are things that I warned about. I said I wanted it to stop. It didn't stop. They kept going on. But, I also wanted a cell phone policy in place. That took 2 years. Just things of that nature. But let's talk about the good that Matt Brower did. Downtown is what it is because of some of the things that he started. And the Citizens Committee and the 2035 Vision Committee.
That was actually Ricky Horse, I think.
Yeah, Ricky started, but
he implemented it and kept it
But
going.
Ricky and Matt basically came together. They came from Utah together.
Right.
So that as many positive things as there are negative things. I just thought at the end of the day, when I made my decision last night, that it's time to go a little bit different direction.
Tom, let's take your question on the other side, and I'll give you first up. Tom's sitting over here dying to ask some questions for the city council president, but running behind. We'll take a break, come back. John McLeod on the other side. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Being the Culligan man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Don't miss Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with your hosts, Francois Cousinet and Julianne Cousinet. They'll be giving you information about your retirement funds and answering your questions with live call-in. So don't miss it, Saturdays from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM. Real estate is probably the largest and most personal investment that any of us will make. Monday, October 27th at 9:30 a.m., Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Ocala, will be my guest to answer your questions and discuss what this brand will add to the local market. So tune in at 9:30 Monday morning and call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and WOCA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA.
Voice of Ocala, City Council President John McLeod is here. When we left just now, Tom Schmitz was poised to ask a question, but we knew it would take a few extra minutes. So now, back to Tom Schmitz. You wanted to ask President.
Are you saying I'm long-winded, buddy? I think that was a roundabout way of him saying I was
didn't say that, but yes, you are.
This is a question from a guy in a yellow shirt and purple shorts.
They're blue shorts.
And it's spelt 270.
LSU
If
college.
I was 270, I'd be 35 pounds lighter than I am now, I'll tell you that.
I'm trying to be nice.
There was a perception that a lot of this had to deal with the negotiations of the New York Yankees and the failed negotiations of the New York Yankees. I talked to people today who said, well, if he hadn't got worked by the county on the New York Yankees negotiations, this probably wouldn't come about. Is there any I mean, that sounds like supposition to me. That's just people trying to be mean-spirited. Did the relationship with the city and the city manager and the county administrator, was that taken into consideration?
Well, I can't speak for the other council members, but for me it did. And I've told you this before. From day one, I wanted the county heavily involved with the deal with the Yankees. And we played lip service to them. And, the county administrator, regardless of what he tells you, he did come to a meeting. And he did leave there telling he was going to tell his county commissioners. Well, that never
Former
happened.
county administrator.
Former county
Yeah.
administrator. He was at the time.
Yeah.
And that really never happened. And it really, hindsight being 2020, I was fairly new on the council. Well, I was very new on the council at the time. What should have happened, and I blame myself some for this, I should have picked up the phone and called all the commissioners myself and told them exactly what was going on. But, the Yankees thing was an unfortunate situation that, I would have loved to have had him here, but we needed to have handled it a little bit better on our end. And let's be fair, the county commission could have been more receptive as they seem to me that, I've heard Carl Zalak on the show a while
Right
back
where
that
you
just
sat.
said that I heard what he said that, and Carl's a friend of mine.
Mhm.
So, and I heard what he said that if, the city had come to them, it had been a lot more
70-30, it would have gone in favor of it had the city come to them a year ago.
If it's right for the community, that whether we come early or later in the process,
Good point.
you still try to make it
Good
go
point, but
go
I think
through.
he admitted they were miffed that nobody brought them into the process.
He is right. The big issue we had is we brought the county administrator in the process, and we should have brought the county commissioners into the process.
Good point.
And that that's as much our mistake as it was Mr. Brower's. So, but it did play a role. I mean, that was a fiasco and a mess. And during that time, staff was handling so many things from the Yankees that we had downtown projects that were, I don't want to say put on the back burner, but really slowed up there. And those are projects that we had complete control over, and we should have been focusing on those.
How much? I remember when we first started this program. It's when I first got my feet wet with city happenings. Was when the incubator opened. Mm-hmm. The business incubator. The power plant when it opened. And I know that was a joint venture between the CEP and the city. And I thought that that was a good step forward. And then we never seen, after that, I didn't see much publicly after that of joint ventures between the city and the CEP again. Is that my perception being wrong, or did the city and the CEP go their separate ways too there?
Well, from my standpoint, I think the CEP needs to be more involved in all these projects that we're doing. They need to be the first line of offense, excuse me. And, it's not just the Ocala staff. Let's use our Ocala staff in conjunction with the CEP, and let's get these projects across the finish line. I'm not in it for, look what the city of Ocala did. I'm in it for how many things can we get done that's going to make our city and our county better. That's what I'm in it for. And to use them, why not use their knowledge? They're all very successful businessmen over there. They know how to do things. They know how, when you go talk to a Fortune 500 company, you're going to take Councilman McLeod, let him talk to the CEO? No. Mark Mondell, and Mark's a very smart guy, and I'm not picking on Mark, and so if he's listening, I'm not picking on him. Is Mark going to talk to that CEO? Or are we going to take Doug Cohn, that runs a pretty good-sized company, can talk the same language? I might be dumb, but I'm going to take Doug Cohn because he's going to talk the language that guy talks. And it makes a difference when you go in there and when a guy's got a successful business say, you need to come here and you need to be part of this community. Then us as a city, we can help with whatever it's incentive packages and whatever we can do to help the process along.
I know you are a big proponent of accountability. You believe people should be held accountable for what their jobs are.
Yes.
You mentioned that several times on this program about how people,
including mine,
and you've said that. I get that. This is not a setup for you. I'm just saying.
No.
But when you talk about Matt Brower's evaluation, I'm sitting here thinking about what if somebody evaluated every one of the city councilmen, every one of the county commissioners, and every one of the projects that we've been working on. I.e., I'm going to bring one project up. Now,
okay.
I couldn't do that. I'm not well versed enough, but let's just say you did. But let's just take perception and let's look at some things that you and I care deeply about as natives of this community. And it doesn't matter if you're native or not. It shouldn't matter, but we are, and we've talked about this. Let's look at Silver Springs. I give Silver Springs a C- at the best right now. I'm disappointed in what I've seen. Now, that's not the fault of one person. It's also an issue with the state. It's connectivity with the state and the county.
Agreed.
The city doesn't have as much a role in that, obviously. But the fact is that there is a disconnect, and money's an issue in Tallahassee. But the project that had so much potential, to my mind, has not gone forward. Who do we call accountable for that?
Well, first of all, the evaluation process for elected officials is, for me, is every 4 years.
Yeah.
And mine's up next year, and I'm sure that there'll be plenty of people that didn't think I did a good job, and there'll be some that think I did do a good job. So we'll see what happens with that.
But I'm saying if I gave you a report card, and I gave you a report card on these subjects.
Well, if you gave me one on Silver Springs, C plus.
Well, no, you wouldn't be accountable for that. I'm just saying that if you took all the things you represented, you were involved in.
Oh, okay.
And that's okay. How did you do on this project, downtown, whatever, and each council person.
Right.
And nobody's going to bat 1,000. Let's be honest about it.
No.
My goodness, I said earlier, you can go out the street tomorrow and find 150 people who think I stink on the radio, and I get that. Maybe I do. But the bottom line is that still, if we're going to have accountability in the city manager's level, let's talk about accountability everywhere else. And that includes staff, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. It should. It should.
And so for me as a citizen, I'm looking around saying, what's getting done on the county level? And it's hard to separate the two because I know your business, the city business is different than council, than the commissioners are, but still it's all one community. Guys like Jeff Halcomb, they get it. Jeff was here on the show last week. We talked. Right. Jeff's not a politician. Jeff has a huge heart, and he's a very smart guy, and he cares about his community. He understands it doesn't matter if we're talking city or county. We're talking about our community here. What gets me is these little divisions, these little fiefdoms, instead of thinking about what's like you said earlier, what's good for the county, what's good for the city. That's the key thing, and that's the part where I think people get disconnected. They don't get it. Why can't we change things for the better? And then who do we call in accountability? Our elected officials, right?
Right. Well, just briefly, Jeff Halcomb may be the smartest guy in the city, and he may do the best job in the city. And
he's amazing.
We're very fortunate to have that man.
I hope we keep him.
I do too. I mean, it's imperative that we try to keep him.
I agree.
Because with the water issues that we're faced with, he has really led us through this time and really helped us out.
Yeah, he's not myopic. He worries about more than water. That's what I love about Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
He knows a lot about water, and he's a smart guy, but he cares about the whole community.
Oh, sure
he does. That's the kind of global thinking we need from people, and not just what their little world is, but the whole community. That's why we can't get roads fixed. We can't get raises for teachers. We can't get, the sheriff can't get people on the street. We got problems here. Tomorrow, Brad Rogers is going to be on the show. He's got a lot to say about things, so we'll follow up with that. Can you stay for one more segment?
Sure.
All right. More with John McLeod, president of the City Council, after this time out of the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A Canadian soldier fatally shot standing guard at his country's war memorial in downtown Ottawa, the country's capital. A suspected gunman also dead. Other shots fired inside the Parliament building.
I was going into my caucus room when I heard these pop, pop, pop. We have a lot of construction going on Parliament Hill. I actually paid no attention to it. I thought it was construction. But I was quickly disabused of that when the security people came running down the hall and ushered us out the back door quite quickly.
The Honorable John McKay, no claim of responsibility. ISIS threats reported after Canada joined the U.S.-led coalition. Sax player Raphael Ravenscroft, best known for that solo on the 70s hit Baker Street, Dead at 60, said he hated hearing the song because his solo was flat. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Thanks to City Council President John McLeod, who after a long night last night was nice enough to come in today and enlighten us on the situation with Matt Brower. If you haven't heard, the city manager last night was not retained. His contract was not renewed. Effectively, he has been fired from the job. And fill us in, we're going to have an interim, and how long is Matt going to stay? And I understand that Councilman Musley offered him an opportunity or presented a scenario where he could stay till January 1st, and he turned it down. Is that correct?
Yeah, he did decline that, and I was fine with that if he had chosen to do that. Like I said, this is for me. This is not an adversarial, non-reappointment, however you want to describe it. So for me, it would have worked that way too. But he chose to leave at the end of his term, which is the 31st of October, and Sandra Wilson will take over from there until we have our council meeting, and hopefully at the council meeting we'll be able to name an interim.
Yeah. So it's like a fork in the road right now. Which way we take in this particular fork. But having said that, as much as I have presented gloom and doom as a scenario here, only because of all the issues at stake with the county administrator, the lack of leadership on certain political bodies in our county, which frustrates me, I know other people too, is that it's also, and this is what you've kind of been saying, an opportunity.
Yes, it is. I mean, you know, when something like this happens, everybody's, oh my God, we have no leadership. The world's going to come to an end. But if you look at it the other way, it may be an opportunity for us to move forward, to really make this city and this county jump forward and go in the right direction. The guys that were in their spots, well, of course, Lee chose to leave. That was his choice to leave, to move to Alachua County, and Matt, we chose not to retain him. Two different situations. They just happened to happen at the same time. Unfortunate they did, but that's the way it is. But it's an opportunity for us to move forward. And at the city of Ocala, and when I did my evaluation, it came out right in the middle. I've been very honest about that. But right in the middle, for me, is probably not good enough for the city of Ocala. I want it to move forward, and I want it even higher. And I did that evaluation as fairly as I could do it.
I'm wondering how people view us in this community right now. You know, when you had obviously we've had a few negative stories recently, it seems like, you know, we've had our issues and our baggy pants story and what have you. We all know that was that's presented in a different light by the national media, and we know the real story here. But again, we're dealing in perceptions. Media deals in perceptions. People read media or watch TV, they deal in perceptions. And I like what you said, and I hope we can keep that standard. Not good enough for Ocala. And that applies to a lot of things, by the way, in my opinion. I hope we do have a gold standard here. And I hope we put our money where our mouth is. And as far as Lee Niblock goes, I haven't studied his career. I know a little bit about it. I've read about it. I've had Lee on the show a number of times. I've heard good and bad about Lee, like everybody has. He's a brilliant guy when it comes to things like Parks and Rec and things like that. I've had people tell me that he finally gave up, saying he couldn't get anything going, to get any projects going he wanted to get done, because he had a board that wouldn't finance it and couldn't get the money, et cetera, because they wouldn't ask for the tax dollars. Now, granted, it's tough climate to do that in, but at some point we've got to make a decision. How far do we go without fixing our roads and getting our teachers and getting our you know what I mean? You don't have that problem in the city. Your police department's in good shape, and you got a great morale, and got a great chief. But there are issues in our community. Again, I know you're a city councilman, but you're a county resident.
I'm still a Marion County resident and still a Marion County voter.
Right.
And, you know, Tom and I had this conversation on one of the times he had me on the show about the sales tax. And, you know, look, I'm a pretty conservative guy, and I don't like taxes, but that tax pays for roads. It pays for police cars. It pays for sheriff's vehicles. It pays for fire trucks. I mean,
what's that sales tax you're talking about?
Yeah, the list goes on and on and on and on. And the argument that I'm hearing is, well, we won't have the extra money to fund the things that we buy with the sales tax. I'm not an economic genius, but that doesn't make sense to me. You can buy X many vehicles that you didn't have to take out of your original budget, and you're going to use this money over here, and that doesn't make sense.
It's called investment in your community.
Yeah,
it's not like, we're going to raise the tax rate. You got to invest in your community. You invest in education. We had President Henderson go there. You invest in education. We got to get to the point where we have to invest for the future.
Well, let me give you a couple examples. I'll give you one example. You know, that sales tax would have helped us build our parking garage downtown, and you don't think that doesn't help all the city of Ocala?
No.
Absolutely, it does. We're still going to try to build this thing. I mean, some council members may or may not agree, but regardless of whether we have a hotel or not, we need a parking garage. We've needed a parking garage for 50 years. You know, when I was a little kid, we needed a parking garage. And most every downtown has one, and that's the direction we should go.
Albert Peake's been on this show several times, and we asked him about his hotel situation and about the cooperation of the city. Actually, he gave the city pretty good marks, didn't he, Tom?
He did.
He didn't seem, and he also realizes that there has to be a change in plans on the parking garage. It can't go at that location. Got to be someplace else now, what have you. And he's the one who's putting the money up for this hotel. And we talked about it. He was very honest and forward about it, and he wasn't discouraged at all. But he made one really good point about ad valorem versus the 1 cent sales tax.
So I agree with him on that.
So 1 cent sales tax, 20% is paid by people out of the county. Number two, when it's ad valorem, people like Albert who own and Sandy McBride who own a lot of land, that's their 401k. You're actually taking money out of their 401k with an ad valorem tax. And I never thought of that before.
Yeah, I think the sales tax is 27% for Mountain County folks.
Yep.
And, you know, I think we've put enough burden in this state on the landowner. And, you know, the property taxes just get to be a little bit too much. And, look, the sales tax, the beauty of it is it has a designated time.
Yeah, sunsets.
When that time is up, if you want to do it again,
gotta renew it
then you put it back on the ballot. I'm big on putting things on the ballot, Mr. Smets. You know that.
I know.
And then you put it back on the ballot.
Well,
but you know what you're going to get with that. You
Right.
know what you're going to buy. It's not government mumbo jumbo where you just say, well, we're going to get the money and we might spend it over here.
Right.
No, this is what it has to go for.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, let's drill down on a couple of topics before this segment runs out. The 2 or 3 things that you think are the most important for the city. Parking garage, you mentioned one of those, you know. We need the power plant to be strong. The CEP, needs to be under new leadership now with Kevin McDonald, needs to be funded properly. What are the things you as councilman, I won't hold you to everything, but give me 2 or 3 things you think are really key for you in terms of moving forward now that we don't have a city manager, moving forward with a new plan.
We do have a city manager. She's just going to be an interim.
Yeah.
And you know, downtown development is huge for the city of Ocala. Huge for the city of Ocala. That's really going to put us on the map with that downtown. If we can get a deal and we can get a hotel and a parking garage built, I think that's going to make all the difference in the world. You know, that's to me is a huge one. As for the city itself, you know, we do need to get our pensions under control. That's eating us alive. I've been very honest that I didn't like the way we did our pension reform because I didn't like the variable hybrid. I wanted to go all DC, which wasn't a really good idea because that would have been more expensive. I'm trying to explain that on the radio would take a whole nother show.
Right.
I personally thought we should go with a DB plan similar to what the state had, and that would have dropped our pension contributions immediately and would have made a bigger difference in a shorter term. And that's another big thing. Again, continue to make this place a great place to live. In other words, continue to improve our parks and all of our recreational activities.
How about, this is not a project, but how about the Riley Arts Center? The city auditorium.
Absolutely.
Fabulous opportunity, I think, and something could be a game changer for us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know, and you know, with the auditorium being used for the symphony and everything, and when you connect downtown
with a corridor there, with
a hotel, it's all the many things. It's really going to be a beautiful place to live and go and have a good time.
And the condominiums the Sandy McBride's going to build.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, and the thing about the condominiums of Sandy, if you ask me if that was a great deal for the city, probably not. It was a good deal for the city. It wasn't a great deal for Sandy either. So I mean, anytime you do these projects in a downtown like this, it's everybody's got to give just a little bit. For us to take that building, knock it down with asbestos, we don't know what we're getting into. You know, haul it off, because we're going to have to knock it down if Sandy didn't take it. Nobody else is coming in and doing that. But for us to have done that would have cost us a great deal of money. So I'd rather give Sandy that incentive and let him come in and do this project. And now we have a downtown living component.
Yeah.
A beautiful one at that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, this is the day after. We'll see where we go from here. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and informing us, keeping us in the loop about what's happening in our city. We need this kind of dialogue. We need to have it more often. We need to have it with more people so that the people of this community can know what their leaders are doing and what their views are. And I appreciate your candor.
Okay.
City Council, I'll do the best I can to get your coach engaged with. Okay, I know you're unhappy about that.
Well, yeah, I understand why they're taking so much time, but as a fan, it's
very frustrating.
Yeah. And I'm still going to go to Jacksonville and take my spanking, but it's the principle of the thing.
Be sure and put some books in your behind, right? Like the kids did when they used to get whippings, because it's going to be a bad one.
You know that game. Sometimes it's the guy that's not supposed to win wins.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen this time. Anyway, thanks, John.
All right.
President of the City Council, John McLeod. Take a break, come back. Figure factoid. We'll see whether or not Johnny Walker's asleep or awake, or whether or not what's going on. Tom, I don't think you got much competition. I think you got half asleep, so it'll be easy for you. Coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA. The Source. Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Alstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. As primary care physicians, we use acupuncture to treat back pain, arthritis, migraines, allergies, high blood pressure, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, stress, and more using all natural medical therapies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment, 352-615-5566.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dr. Todd Marr. He's a specialist in the field of allergy and immunology. He's coming on to speak to us about ways to manage nasal, outdoor, and indoor allergies.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Hank Whittier will be here bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Ned Bowman is with the Florida Petroleum Marketers and Convenience Store Association in Tallahassee. He'll be speaking about the partnership for a better energy future.
And then Christopher Kelly will be on. He's written a book called America Invades, How We've Invaded or Been Militarily Involved with Almost Every Country on Earth.
Senior Chaplain Mike Neal is the Senior Chaplain for the Washington State Patrol and the Department of Fish and Wildlife Police. He'll be speaking about his new book, The Miracle of Africa.
And then Dr. Robert Thompson is coming on, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist. He's written a book called The Calcium Lie 2, What Your Doctor Still Doesn't Know. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Not having friends or family is twice as harmful as obesity and has the same negative impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or not getting any exercise. Because we're all squinting to see our tiny screens, we're creating wrinkles. So increase your font size to grandma size like I do. Men who aren't chivalrous send the message that they're not thoughtful and have no interest in showing compassion for other people.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Back for the final segment of The Voice. Let's have some fun for a change. We've been pretty serious today. I'm going to give you a real quick tweets and quotes. they're pretty serious today. But number one, life is not about the people who act true to your face. It's about the people who remain true behind your back. Number two, your anxiety doesn't come from thinking about the future. It comes from trying to control the future. That is so true. And finally, always end the day with a positive thought. No matter how hard things may have been, tomorrow is a fresh opportunity to make it better. Fake or fact, though, an America's New game, soon to take over the slot from either Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. Teed up next right here between Tom and John. I'm not so sure these guys are paying much attention. I may have to do it myself today because they're both preoccupied.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I can see that.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
I'm not good at this game.
You can do it. Number one, after fake or fact, after Disney's Princess and the Frog movie came out, over 50 children were hospitalized with salmonella from kissing frogs.
Fact.
Fake.
Tom says fact. Johnny says fake. Tom is correct. It is fact. Thumbs up on nothing. The portion of Harvard students who graduate with honors, 4/5. Fact.
Fact.
Two facts. Both correct. It is fact. Number three, Elvis Presley's middle name was Adam.
I don't know. Fake.
It is fake. His middle name was Aaron. Aaron.
I think it's Aron though, isn't it?
It's Aaron.
No, well, typo then.
So
anyway,
It's a typo on the stone at
Yeah. All right, so you're both correct. It is fake. It is not Adam. Number four.
Johnny got lucky there, by the way.
Yeah,
Richard Nixon's favorite. Well, like you aren't. Richard, like you know every answer 100%.
I don't know.
Number four. Richard Nixon's favorite drink was a dry martini.
Fake.
Fact.
Tom says fake. Fact. Johnny says fake. Johnny, you can't win. You're down 2-0. It's fact.
Always am.
I literally just watched the Richard Nixon tapes with Richard Nixon and just learned that.
So you just knew that, right? Here's one more for the fun of it, just because Johnny's out. The Snickers bar was named after a comedy routine done by Jack Benny. Now, Johnny has no idea who Jack Benny was. He was
that sounds true.
He's a famous
Fact.
comedian. You say fact, Johnny?
Just fake.
You're right. It's fake.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounded good.
I thought it sounded good, too. All right, here you go. Here's the number real fast.
Okay.
Finland has the largest number of islands in the world. I'll bet you can't come within 20,000 of them. How many islands do they have in Finland? I bet you can't come anywhere close to it.
In Finland?
Finland.
This was on the Amazing Race last season.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is on the Amazing Race.
I can't believe this figure. This is what this website says now, folks. This is what it says.
360,000.
What do you say?
280,000.
Johnny's closest. It's 179,000.
I thought it was 300. For some
amazing.
reason, I remember Phil Kehoe saying 300,000. Yeah, but
170,000?
Yeah, but some of them are
79,000.
Some of them are less than 600
I don't
yards
care if
wide.
they're only 3 feet. Yeah, I mean, that's 179,550. That's incredible. Amazing. Okay. Terry Bradshaw's coming up next. You won that. Tom won that.
Obviously.
Johnny won that. Won the number. All right. Terry Bradshaw show coming up next. Stay tuned. Lots to talk about regarding Florida football right here on the Voice of Ocala Daily Sports page next.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.the Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source. Do you feel arthritis pain with every step you take? Do you struggle with pain and stiffness in your knees or hips? If so, you may qualify for a research study of acute pain associated with osteoarthritis. Rinstar Medical Research is conducting a research study for individuals over the age of 18 who have osteoarthritis in the knees or hips and are not satisfied with the pain relief current treatment. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigation medication at no cost. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research, 352-629-5800.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at thebriggslawfirm.com or call us at 671-4600.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
The Marion County Seminole Club, Inc., a proud sponsor of FSU football here on The Source. For more information, contact the Marion County Seminole Club at marionseminoles.org or email them at marionseminoleclub@gmail.com.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A Canadian soldier fatally shot guarding the country's war memorial in Ottawa. Shots also rang out in the Parliament building, where the sergeant-at-arms reportedly killed the gunman.
We are sorting through witnesses at this time to get all information, all facts confirmed. And at this time, we are working with possibilities of 3 suspects.
Ottawa Constable Chuck Benoit.
The situation there is tragic.
President Obama speaking with Canada's Prime Minister this afternoon.
The FBI is helping Canadian authorities in Ottawa. In addition, the FBI field offices have been told to raise their alert posture given today's shooting and last week's Joint Intelligence Bulletin warning military and law enforcement of a spike in ISIS chatter calling for attacks on military.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. Investors rattled. The Dow closing down 153, the Nasdaq off 37. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome back to the program, Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page this hour. Glad to be with you on this hump day. We're just a step closer to the weekend. More good college football games and World Series. Not much of a start last night. You could turn it off after the first the first inning, actually, if you wanted to.
When Hunter Pence hit the home run, it was pretty much over. So I'm disappointed we didn't have a little better game there, but I watched about 20 minutes of it and I moved on. So we're back again tonight, right? Yes.
So game 2 tonight. We'll see whether the Kansas City Royals can resurrect their dream and finish off with a good story. I want to talk a little bit today about concussions because it's in the news now about Jamal Charles. And I'm not going to identify this player, but is a former NFL player who is no stranger to this community. That's not Terry Bradshaw, by the way, who told me his story about concussions that kind of makes you wonder about how good this system has been over the years in terms of really knowing what's going on with players. We've seen many, many cases of people, terrible things happening to people who were basically sick. Concussions, Junior Seau comes to mind. We had a Kansas City player who kind of went bananas, and they've just completely gone over to the dark side. Or, and worse than that, just out of control with their lives. There's something wrong. And I'm hoping that it will be corrected, but we are so far behind the 8 ball and so far behind the process that we have the protocol at last for concussions. We're being more careful about it. In my opinion, it's still in the dark ages in terms of what happens. You read stories about, like this one, about Jamal Charles, helmet to helmet with Brandon Flowers on Sunday. And he was placed on concussion protocol. He passed all the tests. Problem is, he started talking funny. Something wasn't right. And I'll tell you the remainder of the story when we come back on the other side, but you can apparently pass these tests, but not find out what's really going on with the brain. There's a concussion, This particular story, this one player credibly had a very bad concussion in college, could not play, and yet played 10 years in the NFL. That's scary.
Yeah.
All right, take a break here, then go over to Tom's headlines. Come back on the bottom of the hour. Terry Bradshaw joins the program. It's going to be funny. You're going to laugh and hopefully get some information.
You want headlines now or you want to take a break first?
Up to you.
Let's do headlines now.
All right.
This from Ocala.com, buddy, some local stuff. UF student said Treon Harris ignored pleas to get off her. University of Florida student who accused Gator quarterback Treon Harris of rape told investigators she had fought off the true freshman sexual advances, but decided to sleep over at his campus dorm room anyway, according to a copy of the police report that was released today. The woman also told investigators that a few moments later, Harris forced himself on top of her, and despite her repeated pleas to stop, he did not. The woman told investigators she kept telling him to get off her and that she did not want to have sex with him. Harris said the woman never told him she didn't want to do anything with him, later adding the woman allegedly told him, "This is going to be between me and you." The woman provided investigators with an exchange of texts where she said Harris sent her the evening after the early morning incident as evidence a crime occurred. Harris told investigators the exchange was in the spirit of quenching any rumors. "Don't tell nobody about nothing," Harris texted to the accuser's phone, according to the UPD report. The woman responded with, "Don't you ever try me again. I wouldn't even come near me if I was you." Harris was never charged with a crime. So the police report sounds like there was fire where there was smoke, buddy.
Well, whatever it is, she's not going to press charges.
No, she's taking the charges off the table.
And there are communities, I don't know what it is in Lochbuie County, where if there's something sexual assault takes place, that there has to be a hearing and a trial, regardless if the girlfriend, boyfriend, or spouse presses charges. Apparently, they don't have that in Lochbuie County.
3A Region 2A championships, according to Ocala.com, at Ocala Golf Club. There was only one person written in red numbers, and that belonged to Forest freshman Lauren Heinlein, who shot a 1 under par 71 to take medalist honors and, even more meaningfully, lead her team to second place in a spot at next week's FHSAA Championships at Deer Island Golf and Lake Club in Tavares. Supporting Heinlein are teammates Riley Jones, Emily Meisner, and Kathleen McNeil. As far as high school's 339 was 33 shots off the score of regional champion Lake Mary and 40 better than third place finisher Oviedo and Lake Brantley.
Say again? How
They
far?
were 33 shots out of first place as a team.
Wow.
But they were 40 shots better than third place.
Wow.
But this is
think of the strokes between first and third.
But Heinlein is the only person that shot under par, the freshman phenom for Forest High School. So the Forest girls going to state in golf. Also, this is another local story. Ocala PGA Tour golfer Ted Potter Jr. has received a medical extension from the PGA Tour stemming from a foot injury he suffered in the summer. Potter, whose season was cut short when he broke his ankle after the Canadian Open, will receive 2 PGA Tour starts. According to Robert Bolton, PGAtour.com columnist, Potter needs to earn only 12 FedEx Cup points in those 2 starts, the equivalent of approximately 58th place finish in a regular season tourney, to vault him into the top 50. And in that scenario, he'll get conditional PGA status for the following season. He'll get between a range of 10 and 15 PGA Tour stops plus work on the Web.com tour. And as you had said, my final story, last night, the World Series, not so much of a World Series, Hunter Pence led off with a 3-run homer in the first. Bumgardner pitches a great game, and the Giants beat the Royals 7-1 to take a 1-0 lead. Game 2 in Kansas City tonight.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. We'll talk about concussions and catch up on any more news and replay that quote or that comment from Steve Spurrier, which I think is kind of amusing. For those of you who missed it, Spurrier asked if he was coming to Florida yesterday. Most of you know what the result was, but we'll go check back with that, and we'll give you any information we can find on the coaching situation at Florida. All coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about. At Eat and Speech Sandbar and Grill, try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eat and Speech Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available. Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School Football on WOCA, The Source. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.the Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. It's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page. Buddy, I was watching an interesting Bryant Gumbel Real Sports that played last night, and it was talking about concussions and domestic violence. They're now linking completely docile men that after they get 4, 5, 6 concussions, their wives are reporting that they become different people. They snap easier. They become violent. And one guy even said before he committed suicide that he needed help. He didn't know how to control this. He knew he was getting out of control, but didn't know how to rein it in. And it was something he didn't know how to deal with. And so he went up and got a gun and shot himself in front of his wife and kids. So it looks like this concussion stuff is being connected to now domestic violence by NFL players and all. And then we hear I watched this show last night, then I come and look on ESPN, and Jamal Charles yesterday on a radio program said that he saw blinking lights and everything and saw childhood flashbacks and all after he'd been cleared of concussion-like symptoms, cleared and that he wasn't suffering concussion-like symptoms after a hard hit he took Sunday. I mean, how do you know when somebody's had a concussion?
You're talking crazy on the radio? They could be tested any day for it.
I mean, you'd have somebody come in here, put a light in my eye every day.
Yeah. It's disconcerting, and you made a very good point there. I think what we're going to find out one day when John Walker is 50 years old, and we'll find out that it is going to all be connected in some way with NFL players who are involved in domestic violence. They're involved in, obviously, in steroids and HGH and things of that nature. They're in a violent sport. They get head injuries. And it's almost a recipe for disaster. No wonder we have all these problems. And here's the other point I wanted to make. Charles' story that you mentioned, he kind of sort of lied about it, although he said that he did saw a light buzzing around his eyes. And he said, but it was like, let me get the ball running again. I mean, if a guy lies to you, refuses to use the protocol, what are you going to do? I know an former NFL player, played 10 years in the league. Like I said, he told me flat out he fooled him for 10 years because he had a major concussion in college and sat out a season, but yet could play in the NFL for 10 years. Now, this has not been like 1920s I'm talking about. This has been, recent history in terms of the last 15 years at least. So the whole issue of NFL players and violence and domestic violence and abuse and what have you, and the concussion situation, we're finding out things now, Tom, that we're going to look back at this period as looking like the Dark Ages. Because compared to what we know now, what we knew 50 years ago, it is the Dark Ages. Think what we'll find out 25 years from now about head injuries and the violence that is the National Football League.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're still learning, and it was handled the way they handle concussions now, compared to. And I make jokes about it all the time, but this was the actual realization of it. The Hurricane Hugo Bowl that we played on the Thursday night against Middle Tennessee State. Georgia Southern played. Mm-hmm. I ran down on the opening kickoff of that game. Next thing I remember, Rex Nodded slapped me in line in the cafeteria on Saturday morning and said, Schmitty, she wants to know whether you want an omelet or scrambled eggs. I lost an entire football game all of Friday and early Saturday morning before I snapped back into anything I remember. And I played the entire football game. We scored 26 points, We scored 26 points. I ran down on 4 more kickoffs.
Well, I've had high school teammates who didn't remember games played Friday night, too.
I mean, this was a Thursday night game. I lost Thursday night all of Friday and didn't come back around till Saturday morning.
And you just got your bell rung.
And got my bell rung. I'm sure.
What they called it.
I'm sure the protocol. I don't remember it because I don't remember the game.
No.
But I'm sure the protocol was, Schmitz, I'm holding up 2 fingers. How many fingers do you see? There's one there and one there. That's 2. How many you see?
Yeah.
2, coach. You're in the game.
Johnny Walker, you hear that expression, got your bell rung? Never heard that, did you?
No.
Yeah, see. It means when you get hit in the head and you see stars.
You see stars and you hear it ringing in your ear.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's that whole protocol thing with concussions. You know the guy who's taking a beating? Bradshaw.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess he had, I don't even know how many concussions he's had. I know one he had when Joe Turkey Jones, I showed you the film on that, one of the most violent hits I've ever seen in the National Football League, picked him up and stuffed him on his head and broke his back.
Yeah.
And wasn't even fined for it.
After he completed a pass.
Yeah, and wasn't even fined for it.
Yeah. And you know who gets blamed for that? Otis Zistrunk gets blamed for it, but it wasn't Otis Zistrunk. It was Joe Turkey Jones.
Joe Turkey Jones from
Picked
Cleveland.
him up, stood right beside him, watched the pass get completed, and then picked Bradshaw up and dumped him on his head.
On his head. And it was violent.
It was a terrible
and he's miraculously, at least as far as I can tell, it's,
And like you said, there wasn't even a flag thrown.
No. No, not even a flag. Now, we could make jokes about sometimes you wonder about Terry when he's on the program, but no, he's a very bright, funny guy, as you'll find out coming up at 5:33. You were doing production on that show this morning about 6:30.
I was.
You were laughing, weren't you?
It was really, really funny, and you're going to hear some of it in the next segment. I mean, I literally was sitting there at 6:15 this morning laughing to myself. My girlfriend, who's getting ready for work, Jennifer, walks out and says, what the hell are you laughing at? I said, because I got headsets on, the TV's off, there's nothing on. She just hears me laughing. Mm-hmm. She thinks I'm over there wasting time. I got up out of bed at 6 o'clock. She's like, why are you getting up out of bed? I said, I got to go do this work. He was like, well, stay, lay down here for a few more. I said, I can't. I got to do this work. Then 15 minutes later, she gets up out of the bed because she thinks I'm in there. I told her I had to get out to work, and I'm in there listening to a comedy or something. Well, I kind of was.
Kind of was, because he really is a clown. He's a funny guy. I mean, you can't. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, we do this show with Terry every week, Terry Bradshaw, on this show, on this station. And it goes out over our little network to up in South Carolina, and another station over the Nature Coast as well from here. And sometimes it's live, like ordinarily be live. Today we had to record it earlier because Terry had a commitment he had to be at today. And we never know what we're going to get. We tried to rein him in. We tried to be focused. We tried to,
Good luck with that.
But forget about it. There's no way, because that's part of the fun of it. You never know where he's gonna go, and I can't help but laugh myself. And anyway. I hope it doesn't sound too silly, but it's a lot of fun to do. Speaking of fun and silly and all that kind of stuff, John McLeod said something earlier about when I said what Spurrier said about coming to Florida. He said, whatever it was, I know it must have been funny. And that's one thing about Spurrier. Whether you like his coaching, whether you think he's arrogant or whatever he is, he brings a lot of fun to the game. And he's a funny guy. And he uses the occasions when you least expect to come up with a line or to say something or to tweak somebody. And that's why you wonder why. Well, you want to be around people like that, You want to be around people who are fun and who make you laugh, whatever. So this is why we're going to replay this bite from yesterday. It's just a little brief one. We all participated in this little charade about Spurrier coming back to Gainesville. Wishful thinking. Still wish it was possible. It's not. But Spurrier coming to Gainesville and taking over the job from Muschamp and getting things on the men and bringing the Gator Nation together and healing things and getting them back on the right track and then helping handpick the successor. But it finally made its way to the press conferences up in South Carolina during his press conference earlier. And here's what took place when he was asked about coming to Florida.
Reports, your reaction. I know you said this is your last stop, but the national reports that have linked you to the potential opening at Florida, your reaction to that?
Oh, no. I tell everybody my next move's going to be to Crescent Beach, Florida, whenever that is. That's my next move, whenever that is. All right.
He's not kidding. He got a big house over there. He built it a couple of years ago. He's been in it now for a while. In fact, he's got a couple of condos. He loves it there at the beach. He goes quite often. He was over a couple of weeks ago. So that will be. But I'll tell you, whenever he leaves the game, Tom,
right,
it's just not going to be as much fun.
No, it won't be. It won't be near as much fun without Spurrier there giving his Spurrier quips.
Yep. Speaking of fun, our college football schedule, we're going to talk about this in our show on Southern Pigskin tonight, which is tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, tomorrow afternoon, about the schedule. You look around the schedule in the SEC this week, it's not as good. I was thinking this morning, we have had like 3 weeks of Candyland. We have had 3 weeks of football, wall to wall. I mean, it was incredible the last 3 weeks. I don't know. I can't remember another season where there's so many great football games played and consistently, wall to wall, every Saturday on television, and you just can't get away from it. It's just fantastic. A little bit lighter this weekend. There are a couple of games. Of course, Georgia's off, Florida's off, and there's one game in particular that, if it wasn't for the fact that it was, it harkens back to the day of, as we say in the show, to the old days of this rivalry when these two teams were really good, it wouldn't have as much glamour. But LSU Ole Miss is going to be interesting because now for a change, it's LSU that's down and Ole Miss is up, and the game is played in Baton Rouge. If you've never been to Baton Rouge, Johnny, I know you're not a sports fan, but if you ever get a chance to go to a college football game Saturday night in Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, you got to do it. Because
I have a few friends that actually go there.
Yeah,
so.
nothing like it anywhere in sports. They really do, as someone says, get lubricated during the day and come and cheer. I was at a game here in 2007 where there were 80,000 people outside the stadium.
Oh, my gosh.
Tailgating outside the stadium. The likes of which you've never. It's the first time I ever got claustrophobia going into the game. I got pinned up against the wall by and it was and the Tiger Walk was going on, but it was incredible. So if you never had a chance, I recommend that you go. Everybody get a chance to go to a football game in Tiger Stadium. So that's the big deal. That's the game of the week. And then, like we say, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Gainesville. It looks like now Jeremy Foley has apparently weathered the storm in terms of pulling the plug on Will Muschamp. He's not going to do it. Some thought he'd do it during the during the open date week. This would be the time, but apparently he's not going to do anything about it, at least not now. I don't think his hand will be forced. Apparently he has decided he's making a good economic decision because it will cost him twice as much, $6 million if he pulls the plug on him now, and then who would coach the team for the final few games? So it looks like that Muschamp's going to get a chance to coach against his alma mater. It would be an incredible story if Florida beat Georgia, but then, what is this thing about ifs and buts or candy and nuts?
Oh, there you go.
And not going to happen. And but it is Florida, Georgia, and bizarre things have been known to happen. But if you look at comparative scores, do the math on this, Tom, real fast. How badly did the Missouri beat Florida?
42 to
13 or whatever.
13, something like that.
How badly did Georgia beat Missouri?
37-0.
Okay. If you can do comparative scores, which you really can't, but if you could, how bad is that?
That means Georgia, if you do it that way, Georgia should outscore Florida by 37-42 is 79 minus 13. Georgia should beat Florida about 66-0.
There you go. There you go. I think if you look in the record books, they beat them one time, 75-0 back in the day. But the worst one, what people remember, is the one in 1968 when Georgia beat them 51-0 in the rain. That's the one that people think about.
When was the 44-0 game?
That was later. That might have been during Pell's.
That was in the 80s.
Might have been Pell's. We'll look that up during the break. But
and then Florida, the year that I remember most vividly was the year, everybody talks about the Lindsey Scott game. It was the year Florida was ranked number 1 in the country.
All right, stay tuned. Coming up next is going to be Terry Bradshaw right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Do you feel arthritis pain with every step you take? Do you struggle with pain and stiffness in your knees or hips? If so, you may qualify for a research study of acute pain associated with osteoarthritis. RedStar Medical Research is conducting a research study for individuals over the age of 18 who have osteoarthritis in the knees or hips and are not satisfied with the pain relief current treatment. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigation medication at no cost. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call RedStar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's RedStar Medical Research, 352-629-5800.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A Canadian soldier fatally shot guarding the country's war memorial in Ottawa. Shots also rang out in the Parliament building, where the sergeant-at-arms reportedly killed the gunman.
We are sorting through witnesses at this time to get all information, all facts confirmed. And at this time, we are working with possibilities of 3 suspects.
Ottawa Constable Chuck Benoit.
The situation there is tragic.
President Obama speaking with Canada's Prime Minister this afternoon.
The FBI is helping Canadian authorities in Ottawa. In addition, the FBI field offices have been told to raise their alert posture given today's shooting and last week's Joint Intelligence Bulletin warning military and law enforcement of a spike in ISIS chatter calling for attacks on military.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. Investors rattled. The Dow closing down 153, the Nasdaq off 37. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
The Terry Bradshaw Football Show is brought to you by Eat and Speed Sandbar and Grill. Seating now available. Try their delicious Floresiana style of cooking. By Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood, one of North Central Florida's finest eating establishments. By La Cuisine, in the charming setting of historic Ocala, imagine yourself in a Parisian bistro. By Prestige Auto Sales of Ocala and Bellevue, go see why they call Chris Spears the Yes Man. And by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank and great patron of the community activities. Time now for the star of the show. Here's Terry Bradshaw. Hello, Terry.
Buddy, that cracks me up. Thought for the day is this, buddy. If you're leading the herd, it would be a good idea to every now and then turn around and just see if it's still there. So that's kind of the thought for the day. So
I appreciate that.
You can apply that to cattle or to people. So that's kind of my thought. In my tiredness, I was able to come up with something.
It's amazing how brave you are when you're tired, It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know you're tired because you didn't get to see the big moment because you were out there sleeping on the West Coast doing that TV show. Just in case the news didn't reach you, Peyton Manning broke the record on Sunday night with his 509th touchdown pass. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I did hear about it, and I congratulate Peyton, class guy, and that's a big time record, buddy. I'm not as impressed with records. I'm not a record guy. I've had records, held records, and everything I've ever had has been broken and shattered, and I just kind of had moved on in life. And I had forgotten. You even forget about Brett Favre held this record, and it's a passing touchdown record, and he'll probably reach 600 now, and all of that's that's great. That's amazing what he's done. But still, more importantly, it's winning championships to me, to my way of thinking. But hats off and congratulations to Peyton. I mean, deserves it, and just an incredible career, especially with what he's overcome. And then he broke the touchdown record last year. Pretty amazing player and a phenomenal accomplishment for sure.
All right, Terry, look at it like this. Between the two of you, you got over 700 touchdown passes. So,
buddy, for all our listeners out there, that's just a shot.
Well, it made it sound good, didn't it?
Buddy knows I only threw for 212 touchdown passes. So, I mean, compared to Peyton, that's.
I'll tell you one thing you root for.
That. I'm halfway mad at you now.
No, you're not, because I'm going to bring this up. The first guy to win 4 Super Bowl rings, okay? And you passed for 932 yards and 9 touchdowns. So let's just not forget those 2 MVPs. Let's not forget that. You have a little hardware at home.
I think you're sucking up to me now.
Back in good graces with Terry Bradshaw. Terry, let's get to the hot list. I know you like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are hot. The Seattle Seahawks are not. So let's talk about those Cowboys again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they got a great formula, buddy. They got a great wide receiver in Des Bryant, and then Terrence Williams on the other side is really come on. Matter of fact, the big plays in the last 3 games have been by Terrence Williams and I did the illustration of Tony Romo calling the El Matador, spinning out, feeling pressure, and getting out of trouble, throwing touchdowns to Williams or first down. So they've got the big receiver. They got a quarterback that's playing great football. They got a young offensive line. Free was out last week, but Parnell came in and played really good at right tackle. And, DeMarco Murray's running the football on a pace. He broke a record. Yesterday was record days. Murray with his 7th straight 100-yard rushing game. No one had done that. He, in fact, beat Jim Brown's record.
Yeah.
Greatest running back of all time, Jim Brown. So the most important thing that Dallas has going for it now is they're playing with great emotion, a great pride, and they're talented. They are stepping it up week in and week out. They're hot. Eagles are hot. Arizona is hot.
Well, we'll get to those hot teams in 1 second, but I wanted to mention that demonstration that you gave on Fox NFL Sunday was pretty impressive. And then to see the game where he did exactly what you said, that reverse spin out.
He did the exact same thing, and he threw it to Terrence Williams for another touchdown. It's amazing. You can't coach it. And I said this, you don't coach it, you don't teach it. It's just an instinct. And very few players have it. Guys aren't quite as athletic. For instance, we'll take Peyton. He'll fall down. He'll just fall down. Eli, he'll fall down. Another guy that has it is Rodgers. He's a guy that moves around. Someone certainly would be Romo. Just 2 classic examples. Brady won't do it. He'll fall down. Cam Newton, these are guys. Cam Newton can take off and run and outrun everybody. So there's not many. The guy down in New Orleans, Brees, he falls. Very special what Romo and Rodgers can do from the pocket.
Yeah, and as you point out, Romo, he's got the hot hand. Not so much now with the Seahawks. Lost to St. Louis on some wacky plays. Russell Wilson battled to the end, but what happened?
Well, buddy, it's tough defending that title. Week in and week out, everybody gives you their best shot. They just, want to. You can say Cam Chandler's out. He's often injured at safety. He's hurt. You can look at Okong at left tackle. He's hurt. The right tackle, although playing, and Okong are playing, both are injured. Unger, the center, he's out. They didn't even get the ball to Marshawn Lynch. He only had 10 carries the other day. They get rid of Percy Harvin, who they gave a lot of money to, but was a disruptive force in the locker room. So he's gone, and they're traveling. They come from Washington, they come back, then they go down to St. Louis, then they go back, and then this week they go across to Carolina. Their schedule travel-wise is pretty tough on them. But when they went home and got home, you would think they'd be tough at home, and Dallas beat them. So tough. They're finding out how difficult it is week in and week out to build up the momentum that gets you into the playoffs and you win a Super Bowl. And let's not forget, and we pointed this on the Fox show, you build up to getting into the playoffs. You don't just turn the key on and go, well, we're world champions and we're going to start right where we left off. Don't forget, last year, all the struggles that they had with several teams and came back to win those games. And a point was made yesterday that that this year their struggles and they're losing. It's just that small, buddy, that small a margin right there. And instead of being, 3 now, they very easily, could be 5-1 or whatever their record is. I don't keep up with that.
They're 3-3 right now.
Very tough. Yeah. Very tough. Do what?
Seahawks 3-3 right now, and as you point out, it's a long season. I wouldn't throw in the towel yet, as you point out.
No, they're going to. But here's what'll happen. What's going to happen? Obviously, they're going to get healthy. They're going to get mad. They may make the playoffs. 49ers lost. They can match up well with Arizona. Arizona beat them last year in Seattle, but they can match up well with Arizona. The Rams beating them down there, that was a shocker, simply because of their quarterback situation and the fact that how they lost that football game. It's weird how they lost that game. The fumble wasn't even reviewed. You lose 28-26 and the fumble wasn't reviewed. So it was a strange game.
Terry, did you think that Seattle had that ball?
Rush for 100, and that's an NFL record, and you have over 438 yards in offense, and you lose.
All right, did you think that Seattle got that ball back? It looked like, although we didn't get the replay, if I had to make a call.
I couldn't tell, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what? I couldn't tell. I thought Seattle had the ball, but they didn't review it, and they gave it to the Rams. I'll tell you what, John Fossils, the special teams coach, oh, man, did he do a great job?
Unbelievable. Kicked it to the one side.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Then the kickoff that went to the left, but the setup was to the right and drew everybody over. That was pretty cool what he did.
Yeah, that was awesome. Terry, let's get down to the hot list real quick, short ones. Your three quarterbacks, hot quarterbacks, obviously Peyton's in there. Who else is in that list of the hot quarterbacks right now?
Oh, man, there's quite a few in that list.
Phillip Rivers, maybe? Or
the guy in Green Bay is playing really good. Yeah, Rodgers is great. Up until yesterday, Phillip Rivers is still pretty impressive. Matter of fact, Howie, I think, picked him to be the player of the year so far. So Rivers would be in there even though they lost. I think Matthew, believe this, even though he threw 2 picks again yesterday, Matthew Stafford is learning how to play without having to throw for 500 yards a game. Kind of creeping into the list. Not there yet. I don't know. Who's next?
How about your boy Blake? Hey, how about your boy Blake Bortles? Blake Bortles won a game.
Yeah, but I wasn't in. Yeah, buddy, I know. And that's your guy, and that's your team, and you're a Florida guy. But
hey, you're the guy who was on his. You were on his bandwagon earlier this year. You said
no. I was not on his. No. Let me clarify this. I said play him. That's all I said. Play him. I've never seen Blake Bortles play. So I know he's good, but let him play. And, I mean, he didn't play, great yesterday by any stretch of the imagination, but ran the football really well and won that football game. Congratulations to Jacksonville. But, no, he's not on my list. And Russell, Wilson is a guy that's on my list. There are 8 or 10 guys, but by God, how are you going to get? And Brady's got to be on the list.
Yeah,
guys that are hottest. Let's go real quickly. So Brady, same old. Manning, help me. Who else you want to throw in there? We
Aaron Rodgers.
Put Breeze in there because they're not doing anything. Rodgers, there you go. The big 3. That's it. And then everybody else is just a notch below him.
All right, Terry, who's gonna get fired next?
Oh man,
Rex Ryan.
I would think. Well. Owner of the Jets really likes Rex, but I think they're going to have, if they don't just turn it around and really show big signs. Rex is gone. General manager is gone. Sean Payton is certainly safe. The Saints are underachieving.
Yep.
Who else, buddy?
Mike
Who else
Smith has got to be on the hot seat. He's 2-5, right?
I was talking this morning when I was flying with Jimmy, and I said, golly, can you believe, we'll call him Smitty, but can you believe Smitty was 2 years ago was in the NFC Championship game, gets beat by the 49ers in Atlanta, and then the world just caved in. The running backs get hurt. Their defense is falling apart. Now their offensive line is falling apart. So, yeah, I would say Rex, unfortunately, I would say Smitty's on the list. Peyton's not on the list, but they're underachieving, as I said. They have already fired the coach out in Oakland. I'd have to run through the league real quickly to come up with more names. But
all right, let me do this, Terry, because of time.
Listeners, that's kind of a start, I guess.
All right, Terry, because of time, let me get to you. I'm going to give you which one of these guys goes first, Mike Tomlin or Lovie Smith?
Lovie goes before Mike.
Really?
Mike, I'm going to tell you something. If the Steelers don't step it up, I think Mike will get a reprieve here. But boy, how long? You cannot let a defense get that old, go into the draft and you don't address it, and they're not playing well. They've got to. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to tell you. There's already word out there, a lot of word that he's gone. Tomlin's gone. I don't think he's gone because I know the Rooneys like him. They haven't told me that. The Rooneys are a patient family, and they're just not going to turn and get rid of him. But I would think Lovie will go before Mike Tomlin, yes.
All right, Terry Bradshaw, thank you very much. Terry, you recorded that earlier this week. Tomorrow we got a more expanded version of Terry Bradshaw on Southern Pigskin tonight. You'll hear his new mailbag features and his picks tomorrow on the show.
Red hot on picks.
He's on fire. You might want to listen tomorrow. We'll have that program on at 5 o'clock tomorrow and a repeat on Friday, so you get plenty of Terry Bradshaw. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about the starting quarterback in Gainesville this weekend, hoping for a different result. And another athlete who had committed to the Gators is now going a different direction. All coming up next here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
The Marion County Seminole Club, Inc., a proud sponsor of FSU football here on The Source. For more information, contact the Marion County Seminole Club at marionseminoles.org or email them at marionseminoleclub@gmail.com. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Hi, I'm Buddy Martin, the host of the Voice of Ocala, every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep a muzzle on Tom Schmitz? Forget about it.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Don't take our word for it. Just check your electric bill, and then you'll see how those shade trees can cool your home and save your hard-earned bucks. There's no better time than right now to pick out a shade tree or 2 or 3 at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens during their truckload tree sale. Take your pick. Dozens of varieties, many trees up to 8 feet tall, ready for planting, just $49.99 at Bob Wine's. Want a bigger one? Bob Wine's has them all the way up to the gigantic super jumbos, up to 16 feet and more, delivered, planted, and guaranteed for the unbeatable price of $4.99. Big savings on citrus trees, too. Virtually every kind of citrus you can think of, starting at only $59.99, and many of them have fruit right now. Enjoy this wonderful fall weather with a visit to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. They're open daily 9 till 4, Saturdays till 2. Bob Wine's, proudly growing greener with Ocala since 1952.
Can't wait to get our new tunes. We got working on a new plan for new tunes, which won't sound quite like elevator music. Here on the program, the ever-improving Buddy Barton Sports Page. By the way, those of you who didn't know, the University of Georgia has announced that they are applying for reinstatement for their running back, Todd Gurley, who was suspended 2 weeks ago and been gone for 2 games, and was suspended because of his alleged illegal relationships with a dealer who he signed items that were sold, and it remains to be seen how much or what he got for it. But anyway, he's out, and of course, all you Gator fans, let's hear it all together now. We told you so. He'll be back for Florida. I got to tell you, Nick Chubb looks pretty fierce to me. I heard this guy was the strongest guy on the team. Nick Chubb is by far the strongest man on the Georgia team. They say he is a beast, according to our guys up in
he looked like
Georgia.
a beast.
They say he's really strong. He's playing like one. So you got to give Chubb some time there, even though you got your guy coming back, guy who was being touted as the Heisman Trophy winner just 3 weeks ago. Now sitting the bench, that's hurt his chances. So Georgia will be rested up and ready, and who knows what the score will be in Jacksonville, Everbank, when they play. It is called Everbank still, isn't it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Pretty sure it is, everybody. You don't follow the Jags?
I don't follow the Jags at all.
Yeah, all right.
I'm from Jacksonville.
I know.
And couldn't care less.
Okay. A little news on the Gators. A 4-star athlete commitment. The University of Florida, Jerome Baker.
It's no longer a commitment.
Flipping, going to Ohio State to play for Urban Meyer.
Well, he's probably some sort of criminal anyway.
How about that? Looks like the criminals were in their other place. More of them are down in Gainesville than in Columbus.
Well, I'm just saying he had Aaron Hernandez, and that looks like Percy Harvin fights everywhere he goes.
Drop it and go move on. Finally, starting quarterback before we get to that. Trent Harris has been named to be the starting quarterback, and Nuschamp said Trent has a knack for making plays. I sure hope so. Go ahead. That's me. He didn't say that. What you got?
Tonight, Jake Peavy versus Giordano Ventura, the veteran Jake Peavy going up against the first rookie ever to start.
Is that a heavyweight fight or what?
First rookie ever to start for the Kansas City Royals in the playoff. 8 p.m. on Fox. So, game 2 of the World Series.
I want to thank the mayor, Kent Gwynn, coming in today after a tough day, and the president of the city council also joined us today, John McLeod. Appreciate them stepping up. And, of course, Terry Bradshaw. And good job again by Johnny Walker running the board around. He'll be running this place pretty soon. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a terrific evening, everybody.
Being the Culligan Man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan Man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352